All right, so we're pretty close to um, you know, the end of the market period. So most of our stuff should be, you know, in by now. We're just gonna practice like two new tools, scissors, knife, um, kind of see what they do, and then we're just gonna review stuff. I keep on getting the same questions though. So remember, you can't really change the color of the background, right? But you can put a rectangle, go your properties, fill it with the color that you want, and then we're in layers. To make it easy, you should probably lock it and then create a new layer. So the background's not going to move. You're not going to grab it by accident. Uh, so background stuff. All right. I'm going to go a little bit quick through some drawings and stuff just because we should pretty much like know this stuff. But all right. So the other thing you could do is like file new, create, and like see how I can go back and forth. So I can do like drawings on one. I see some of you guys drawing all over on the side. If that's, I guess if it works, but you could also draw it here and then just save it like kind of together. So I don't know. I got a rectangle, right? I want it to be some super light gray. And then I want a stroke on it, right? But say I wanted to change the color of the stroke, I could change the color with any of these. And then I could also get a stroke menu and change where the stroke is. Is it defaults middle? I could change the corners, but I can align it to the middle like it is, outside, inside. And so we'll talk about that in a second and when you would do what. All right, so we got that, right? Text box, right? Just T. Basic stuff. It's already highlighted, so this is like the easy way where you can increase um, text size before you start. You can find a text that you want or that you like. Uh, just in general, if you're doing web design, like an Arial, sans serif, like those things are pretty uh, common. I don't know. Sometimes it messes around with if you use something. You use something that's never really used. Sometimes a web browser can't load it, so you want to, or at least if you're going to do that, have a default. All right, so then I'm going to do open. I guess you want to be consistent. If it's capital, it's capital. All right, right? Over 24 hours. Now that I have this, I can move it, right? I can grab these together and I could align them. And now it's in the middle, right? So align horizontal. All right, so what are we going to use? We're going to use the scissors tool. All right, so if you have trouble finding a tool, remember, you could just like type it. Scissors, right? And then we all have our flywheels and there's drop down. So it's with the erase and the knife. So we got our scissors tool, right? All right, so I have my scissors tool on and then, so scissors tool. All right, lines, whatever, scissors tool, shape expanded, right? All right, if you notice, I can't cut it again, right? Now I got an anchor point. If I put on my object selector, I can move that point. All right, so once again, I went too far. Um, so I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm going to realign it. And then highlight, right? Turn on my scissors tool. Let's go right in the middle. All right, then I can separate the shape, right? So if you notice, the fill came with it, but uh, the stroke didn't. All right, so one more time, right? You're on there, you pick it up. Now you got two though. Say you like you could do both, right? Or you could do it that way. You got your smart guides on to tell you like what's parallel, what's perpendicular. Like I said, it's not connected yet, right? Just the fill kind of carried over. But if you wanted to have it connected, right, you go click, shift, click. You could do Control J or shift. Got them both selected. Object path join. All right. Object path join or Control J. I would do like try to get to Control J. Keyboard shortcuts after a while, it's always easier. Uh, just in general. All right. So now this thing's done. I'm gonna group it. Now I could do whatever you could do with things that are grouped, right? Oops. When you do that, make sure you hold shift to keep the properties. All right, so I got my group thing. All right, so then I copy and paste, right? So I have that. All right, now I'm still kind of, I'll put it over here. I could toggle back and forth. So now we're gonna think about the knife tool and how I'm gonna use that. All right, so before I start though, I'm just gonna draw. Let's make a brown. No stroke. Um, all right, I opened that circle selector tool where I can open up my circle. Mess around with that tool one more time. Uh, and like, so yeah, turn the selector on. I don't know. You could grab the middle of the shape and move it by there for quick stuff. But if you start, resizing and grabbing, just like take a second, turn the selector right. All right, so I got some quick drawings, right? Uh, I got these things highlighted. I'm going to use the knife tool, right? I cut through it, got my selector on. What can I do? Oops, sub selector. Now I can kind of mess with one thing at a time. All right, so I got that on my sub selector. Click on that fill. Maybe obviously there's better ways to do everything, right? But so if I have this selected just to practice, um, I grab the eyedropper. This is how the eyedropper works. I want colors to match. Good. Then I have a color thing that matches. All right. What else can I do? Um, just reminding myself. I got this shape, right? I use my knife tool, right? I drew through it. Then I can uh, change the color. So subselector, change the color. All right. So knife tool, making multiple shapes out of a bigger shape. That's what it's good for. All right. So I'm gonna grab this stuff. I'm gonna group it. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna regular selector. I'm gonna hit shift. I'm gonna resize. All right. So then I have this figure so far. I'm just gonna like these are not super specific, but we're gonna make a dog, right? So however you think, whatever shapes you see, to make like a basics of a dog, that's fine. We're gonna make one of those long dogs. So maybe we're gonna do one more thing first, though. All right. So remember, I got my this one, same thing that we've been doing. Edit, copy, edit, paste in front, right? Then I should have a circle pasted in front. We have this way to kind of do things that we've learned about before. Got some handles on there, right? Uh, this time though, we're gonna use hitting shift. We're gonna use our tool. Uh, Now there's like other ways to do things, right? So then this is just kind of like a help. Oops. Hit shift. This one's got to like. All right, we got our overlap. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we have this shape, right? Doesn't really look like a dog's ear. So we're gonna subselector. We have these things that we could use. We've used in the past, but we're gonna do the erase tool. So hold down on this. Get our toolbar, right? I double clicked on it to open up the toolbar, and we're gonna change it to 60 to erase more. Or I could just type it. All right. Now this would be where I should have, you know, thought about how big my thing was to start, but it's about 60. I could probably go a little smaller. All right. So just for this one, just to mess around. I'm gonna grab this. We'll do a rectangle instead. All right, then we're gonna grab our erase tool. And we're gonna take this rectangle and we're gonna try to make it more of a dog ear. Too far, right? For mine, I should go back to default. You can change the size, right? Oop, did I change the size? Let's go to reset. All right, so we got some stuff like that. We move the pointer, drag down the arc. Um, if you didn't like it, you can go edit, undo eraser, edit, undo eraser. It might take a little while to get used to. Edit, undo, edit, undo. All right, so if I sort of like that using my erase tool, we could round the corners, uh, just to make sure they're not like choppy, because we kind of done that before. And then I'm gonna do to do that, right? Just go back to our object select tool, right? I got these kind of like choppy corners. Let me round these things. I could also say I wanted one not to be, you can like unlink them so they're not related. So if I move one, it doesn't move all of them like that. You could go by individual points, and you could change uh, the radius or from each one individually, right? If you just double click, you could also do it over here with those tools. It would be on the other side. So if I want to round this one, because I didn't like how it was rounded. All right, then like maybe, I don't know, darker. It's like what dogs look like, right? All right. There's also you can simplify the whole path for the whole thing. It'll take out some of those anchor points if you think there's too many. If you want those more rounded stuff, right? More points, less points, kind of self-explanatory. All right. So then we got that part of our drawing. All right. So I'm gonna go quick for a couple seconds though. So we got some movie magic. Nah. We'll go ellipse tool. So shift. That looks good. Then we got rectangle tool. We got those dogs with the longer bodies. So we'll align it though. Let's go ellipse tool again. All right, if you're doing this with me, quiz, I want to turn these all into one thing, easiest tool. uh, should be the shape builder, right? So I'll shift. I got all these standard shape builder. Now I got one shape, right? Uh, then we got, what do we have to still add? Legs. So we'll go. I'm gonna make this one like back legs are always like a little bit different, so I'll do that. Um, what's the easy way to do a foot? Maybe circle. Um, let's go. Get a little rotate this a little bit. I should probably go back and definitely make sure all my circles are 180 degrees. Like it looks okay, like the eye test, but um, some of them are like 179 and change. So like I could probably fix that if I'm cleaning it up. All right, good. Drag them down a little bit. Good. Go Control Plus. Yeah, so that's like why it's 179 and change. All right, Control Minus. All right, so same thing. Grab them all. All right, then arrange, send to back. Did I hit send to back? Arrange, send to back. Oh, it's because yeah, I gotta change that. I guess I gotta change. No, no. All right, we'll go that one. At least it's different. Oops. Control Z. Group this. Then I can move. And then obviously, if we go back, the easiest way would be with the sub selector there. Then I got the dropper there. Opposite. Group this. Not everything. So click this. Oops, with the sub selector though. Right. Then use the dropper. Opposite. Click this. Then use the dropper to turn it the same color as the. What did just happen? All right. So if that does happen, Shift Control Y. What just happened to all my stuff? All right, here we are. It's highlighted. There we go. Selector. I have my dog, right? Group the whole thing. Shift, resize. On my artboard. All right. Same thing. Copy, paste. All right. I got this dog, right? Um, all right, so we got this. Just some quick stuff about tools. Say I got my properties, then I got my stroke. I want a stroke on. Black, maybe kind of average size. Want my sign to be green, maybe a little lighter, right? And then we can um, switch where we put the stroke to look a little bit different. So we're gonna mess around with like stroke placement, uh, how to make it look different. We're gonna work on the shape builder, and we're gonna start putting stuff together. Uh, but this project is kind of using two different things to mess around and uh, add to certain parts, right? All right, so we have that type of thing. All right, now say I wanted a white stroke, right? Oh, no, I'm on the fill. Control Z. I want the stroke to be white. And now I'm going to go to this and I'm going to align the stroke to the inside. All right, now let's go inside. All right, now we can't really see it, but the stroke's aligned to the inside. This is good when you want to do like something behind it. So I'm going to, if I hit Alt Shift, I can start making circles. Alt Shift also copies. But if you do Alt Shift, um, so if I had this one with my thing aligned to the inside, I'm going to hit Shift. I'm just going to resize a little bit, move it. Probably should do the opposite. But then I'm going to take the stroke off. I'm going to fill it black. I'm going to arrange, send it back. All right, so obviously it's not aligned anymore. I can take my selector, move, get my selector, move. You can, kind of resize to think about whatever, but then you could grab these two and then you can align them horizontally, align them to the top, whatever design like you're going for, you could do that. Horizontally, you'll give you the center thing though. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna group it, and then we're gonna work in the next video on entwine.